Not sure if the sound's coming through. I'm just outside the campground boundary. Just beyond the campground boundary. And there's a fire in the woods right there. Can't really tell how far away it is, but I'm about to turn around and go the other way. I was between loads of laundry when I went to go check on the noise, and now I need to finish up the laundry, sprint back to the Airstream. Not sure if we should hook up or not. We're waiting for the campground to say something. Shauna was out visiting family, and I have called her to say, hey, maybe you should come home, because we may have to hitch up. Not trying to be an alarmist, just want to be prepared.
It is Friday evening. I clocked out and went to see my mother, which I usually do on Friday evening or early Sunday morning. And she has recently relocated to this area. And I usually make sure she has groceries and we spend time and, you know, just hang out or whatever. But Andrew called and says he needs me to come home with the truck just in case we need to roll out because there is a fire.
Campground sent out a text message kind of letting everybody know, hey, be aware. It wasn't, you know, no panic yet. No need to panic. This might be good, quick exercise for me to think through all the things we need to do if we need to hitch up in a hurry. So as soon as I get a couple things straight on the hanger here, I'm going to go outside and dump and fill and make sure that we can move if we have to, think through it, and work down the list just in case. The wind's picking up. It's not a great situation.
I don't know, like if a campfire's gotten out of hand or what, but he told me to move it, so hopefully traffic won't be bad. It can be. Sometimes it can take me an hour, and other times it can take me 21 minutes, so you never really know.
I think that's a spot fire right there that guy's putting out. There's fire over here along the edge. I'm as close as I need to be. Most of the bulk of it's over in the woods here, but these guys are doing the work here to get this thing under control. I think there's guys ranging through the brush over here looking for spot fires too. Pretty smoky. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna hook up the hose so that I can dump. I believe our freshwater tank is pretty close to full, but I'm gonna top that up just out of an abundance of caution. And then I'm gonna get ready to possibly put this stuff in the truck when Shauna gets back. Then I wanna check my stabilizer feet, make sure they're working. All right, okay. While that tank is dumping, I'm just gonna take a walk around the Airstream and try to identify things I haven't thought of yet. Currently our generator is underneath and I have that locked, so I need to make sure I know where that key is to unlock that. And I think I wanna put the hitch on when Shauna comes back. I've got a propane tank that needs to be put up in place because I've got the little baby propane in place from when I filled it. Obviously, the big 30-pounder's got to go back to the right place. As I think about it, I've got some things to do here. Yep, fresh water was full, dead full. Haven't used any of it, so that's good. That'll save me some time. While the gray finishes, I'm gonna go and start the reconfiguration of the hitch area. This is interesting. Things I've done 100 times, all of a sudden, in a rush, I think I can think clearly and I think I know what I'm doing, but I'm making mistakes. It's an important lesson. It's getting dark fast. I gloved up again. I'm going to disconnect hoses and go back, probably disconnect the generator and try those stabilizer feet. I want to make sure they go up. Okay, this is excellent news. Shauna will be home any minute now, and we'll kind of go over the checklist and assess the situation and make sure we're on track. That one's, oh, nope, the far side's not up.
I don't see anything terrible. There's the work truck.
Hi.
Hey, the car is pulling hard to the driver's side. Do I have a soft tire? I didn't want to pull over because I was so...
Yeah, it's hard to tell in the dark. It's not flat, so
Okay.
it's not flat. Okay, I have dumped the tanks, made sure the fresh is full. I've put the stabilizer feet up. Right now, we're gonna have to use the manual override on the hitch because it's not going up. Remember how we had trouble with the switch before?
Yeah. How about the stabilizer feet?
They're good.
Okay.
They're all up.
So we need a new hitch jack, or we're gonna have to manually crank.
We're gonna have to manually crank. So
right. I'm gonna order one. I'm just gonna order it because I don't want to keep messing around.
Okay. As far as making sure we're kind of just ready for things if we need to be, I'd like you to just back in. I'm gonna put the hitch on, and then we're gonna kind of figure out what the status is.
Instead of putting the hitch on, just put the hitch in make sure the hitch is in the truck.
Okay.
So that if we need to do any laps or anything, we don't whack our shins in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Let me back in.
The hitch not working, not really a surprise. We can just get another one. For right now, we'll be able to use the hand crank and get that thing up if we ultimately need to connect up and get out of here. There's a few things otherwise we need to pick up, but ultimately, if we have to go in a hurry, I think we're set up and ready, and I'm glad we did this. I don't want to be overly dramatic, but yesterday there was a fire near the campground, and the fire department ultimately got it under control. What it does is it brings to mind that we need to be prepared at any time to roll with the Airstream. It was concerning. The wind was blowing towards us, and it was a little bit of a distance away down here along the greenway where we go and walk and run and ride the one wheel quite a bit. So definitely feels very close to home. I think the lion's share of the action was primarily up around the corner here, but I believe these are fire hose marks where they dragged hoses, maybe pulling water from the golf course. Quite a distance, really. I came up here to look at the aftermath of the fire, but the turkeys seem undeterred. They're right here adjacent in an unburned area, just bopping around in the brush. This is one of the little fires that started probably 100 feet away from the main fire. And that was, I think, our concern all along. If they didn't keep it entirely contained, we'd have little fires moving around and starting in more places than they could go after. It looks like it's nearly out. There's a couple little areas that are still smoking a bit, but all in all, I think the fire department did a good job getting in here. There's a concrete wall here on the backside, which was a good fire break for them. And then there's a big chain link fence, I think, made access hard for them to get in here quickly and fight the fire. But with the way the wind was blowing yesterday and little spot fires starting here and there, the potential was clearly there for it to have spread more than it did. And I'm very happy that they got ahead of this thing. Fortunately, it appears to have been contained pretty quickly. I think we can use it as a learning opportunity. Definitely keeps us on our toes. This area's had the floods before where we felt like we had to be ready to pull out and get out of this campground just in case the water came up a little higher than anybody expected. It's got us thinking about infrastructure, not making sure we don't have too much stuff so that we can't pack up and go. You know, we are mobile, even though we've been in the same place for a little while. We did spend some time last night getting ready, making sure we did the kind of dumping and filling, that the stabilizer feet would work, that everything was secure and ready. And it's a good exercise, even if it wasn't entirely necessary today, to roll out. Bit of a change in weather here, which is great for the fire, a little bit bad for my intentions to do some downsizing today. And the other thing that concerns me is the stream down here. So it can turn quick. It rained quite a lot earlier. We're in a bit of a lull right now, but I thought I would just kind of come down here and check out the stream and see how it's doing. It's been bad before. I would say this isn't too bad. I've seen it clearer through here. Usually it runs clearer, but it's about 3 feet down from the top of the wall, and that's a good place for the water level. We've seen it level with the top. I think at the worst I've seen, it was probably 8 feet deep where I'm standing. So probably 12 feet over the current water level. Nothing too serious today. It'll be just enough water to mitigate that risk of fire. The fire got me thinking that I should do some downsizing. And unfortunately, the weather's not cooperating, so I really can't spread out all the bloat and kind of organize it. So I'm going to switch gears. I am going to go back to the switch. And I'm going to win this time. This is going to be my third and final attempt to repair this. I got a new switch and I'm going to try this one more time. My current running theory is the old switch was bad, or I did something to it, maybe shorted it in the process of wiring. But I'm going to try this again. I swear I know what I'm doing, I think. To briefly recap, what we're trying to do is replace just the speed control knob and switch behind it with something that will essentially appear stock but function better. This is my starting point. Where I left this off with my last repair is it just runs full speed. There's no speed control switch. It's just wired out. I'm going to put in this switch now, and I should get back the ability to change speeds with a switch that's more energy efficient. But actually at this point, I'd be happy if it just works. Option B will be to replace the whole thing. Kit consists of a circuit board where we make 4 wire connections and a switch, and this little rheostat has a knob on it, and that's about it. It's got a nice positive stop on both ends. You can really feel it, so I know that it's not just free spinning and I'm not changing the speed. The issue with the last time was that it was just full speed all the time. It didn't change the speed. So once again, we'll look at this, make sure I'm wiring it right. The fan is running. Gonna remove power to the fan motor. So now I know that's the only thing shutting it off is this disconnected wire. Now I'm gonna wire in the switch. Hopefully we get that functionality back. Screws left to right, positive power, negative power, and to the motor, positive and negative. On the last one, I never saw that LED light up. Right now, we're running full speed up on the fan, and our LED over here on the board is lit. I'm gonna connect that switch now, the rheostat knob, and see if that gets us the fan speeds we need. Got my speed knob here. I think I want to switch it off. I can't switch it off. I guess we're just going live. It works. It works. I've got technical difficulty over here because this only stops when the thing fully comes down or fully goes up, and there's nothing to tell it to stop. But our fan speed works. No, it worked one time. What's going on here? Interesting. I have some degree of control over the speed, and I have no off switch. This is weird. There's clearly something I don't understand here, because I've got, to some degree, control with this knob, fan speed up and down, but it's not reliable. And that's the weird part. That's the part I don't understand. I clearly have misunderstood something here, and I'm not sure what it is. I don't like giving up on puzzles like this, but I cannot figure out what I'm doing. The switch is working okay, but there's some things I don't understand here. I let this cool down for a few minutes. And it works. Goes fast, goes slow, fast, slow. At a certain point, we lose control of it. And I don't know why. I don't know how. Maybe it can't handle the voltage we're putting through it. This was the recommended switch for this from some guy on the internet. Supposedly it worked. The last one I had, I couldn't get variation in fan speed at all. But again, here, up to fast, turn it back off. I don't know this is a solution. I might put it back together and see if it continues to work. I'm a little worried I can't trust it, but we'll see. Went all the way up to full speed, back down to essentially off, and it doesn't go off. I don't think I can use the switch. I don't think I can trust it. Yeah, once it goes up to full speed and runs a second at full speed, it won't go back down and go all the way off. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes to cool down, see if it happens again. I have to say I feel a little bit vindicated here. This switch is working erratically. If it heats up, it doesn't actually slow the fan speed. So A, that's something I don't want to install in here because it makes me nervous. And B, felt like I didn't understand what was happening here because I couldn't get this thing to control fan speed. But the bottom line is if I connect everything and that fan runs for even a few seconds at high speed, this will not run slowly. If I let it run slowly to start, I can see that it will do it. And as soon as it goes fast, it won't go back to slow. That's it. I'm satisfied. That's coming out. A new fantastic fan from Airstream is $450 or more. And I have to say with this most recent rainstorm, we didn't have any water intrusion up front. And I'm starting to think I'd rather spend that kind of money on some flooring. So that may be where we go next. We may get some flooring for the Airstream. This works as well as it did.